Man, I'm going to jail already. Regardless.
I don't know if I have to book you into jail or not. I mean, that's something I can, if I determine the information that you have leads me in a different direction, I can unarrest you.
Wow, this changes everything. I guess we should talk to the police then. Check this story out. It's New Year's Eve 2020. Joseph Gray sets up a drug deal with Christopher Smith. With Joseph is his on and off girlfriend, Crystal Johnson. The two men meet, exchange the goods for cash, and part ways. But shortly after, Joseph finds that the drugs he bought were bunk. Luckily, it's snowing. That means footprints. Cut to Matthew Kirby's house, 6:30 a.m. He had just returned home from work and was ready to go to bed. His wife, who was ordinarily in the kitchen making coffee, ready to start her day, suddenly informed him that she had heard a man speaking on the phone in their front yard. She said she'd go outside to see who it is, but Mr. Kirby insisted on going outside himself. After throwing on some clothes, Mr. Kirby exited his home to see an African-American man standing in the snowy front yard. The man donned dreadlocks, was in his late 20s, and of average height. He looked stressed and was out of breath. Mr. Kirby asked the man what was going on, to which the man replied,
"I'm running from someone. I was trying to call an Uber, but I can't get one. I'll give you $20 if you can drive me to the convenience store."
Mr. Kirby refused. He hung outside with the man for a bit, asking why the man was being pursued, but got no answer. After a while, there was awkward silence, which prompted Mr. Kirby to ask the man to leave his property. 30 minutes later, Mr. Kirby's front yard is again disturbed. This time it's a white male and a white female who have found their way to Mr. Kirby's residence. Mr. Kirby steps outside again to survey the situation.
"Are you looking for someone?"
"Yes, a black guy.
"He went that way."
He robbed us."
"Oh, that sucks."
Joseph and Crystal continued to pursue Christopher until they found him banging at the doors of a nursing home. A scuffle ensued and Joseph withdrew a gun, shooting Christopher dead. Joseph was later acquitted of murder. But now the case gets interesting. You see, while Joseph might be legally innocent, Crystal can still be charged for manslaughter. The reason lies entirely in her words. She might not have drawn a weapon or made any physical contact with Christopher, but according to witnesses, she did coax Joseph into hurting Christopher. Witnesses heard Crystal saying things like, "Get him," to Joseph, which is enough to charge her for manslaughter. Egging someone on to commit a murder does not fall under freedom of speech. However, at this point, this is all hearsay. Let's see what happens to Crystal once the detectives grill her on her situation.
That's it right there. So, Crystal, right? Hey, Crystal, Detective Melville, Sheriff's Office. Just so you know, this room is audibly and visually recorded, okay? Today's date is January 13th, 2021. Current time is 1600 hours. Hey, Tech, we'll get you water. We'll be in to talk to you here in a few minutes, okay?
We didn't have a cold one, but we have. It's better than nothing.
Thank you.
Okay, but this is just a backup recorder. We've had cameras fail in the past, so I'll make sure that
Yeah.
Still on there? Perfect. Okay. And it's your last name real quick.
Johnson, Johnsson.
You have another name that you go by, or is it just Johnson?
It's Johnson.
Johnson, okay. And your first name is Crystal?
It's the K. Krystal, middle initial M.
And your birthday?
11/04/90.
Okay. Oh, and for this backup one, that you're aware the interview's being recorded, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get right down my notes here real quick. Okay, so, Crystal, obviously, you're in custody. You understand that you are right now. I want to talk to you about some things here in a couple of minutes. You might be able to provide us some information that may help us in our investigation. Your name has come up in 2 different investigations, and I would like to speak about that with you. So, they're two shooting investigations is what they were. I mean, one happened right outside your guys' apartment the other day, so I want to talk to you. That one will be kind of fringe. There's a different one that I need to talk to you about. So we'll discuss that here in just a minute, but because you are in custody, I do need to advise you of your rights first, okay? So my name is Detective Mark Melville. I'm a detective with Spokane County Sheriff's Office. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. How old are you, Crystal?
I'm 30.
Okay. The juvenile portion does not apply to you. You have the right to talk to an attorney at this time and before answering any questions. You have the right to have your attorney present during the question. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you without cost before any question if you so desire. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
Now, Crystal, these are your rights and your rights alone. Nobody can take them away from you. Nobody can make you answer or not answer, okay? You can answer some of my questions. You can answer all of my questions. You can answer none of my questions. You can start answering. You can stop answering. You can choose which ones to answer and which ones which ones not to answer. Some of the things I want to talk to you about, I don't necessarily think that you are the person who actually did a shooting, but I think that you've got information regarding these things that have taken place. So I'd like to speak with you about that, okay? So with all of those things in mind, you want to answer my questions?
I'm going to jail already. Regardless.
I don't know if I have to book you into jail or not. I mean, that's something I can, if I determine the information that you have leads me in a different direction, I can unarrest you, if you will, for lack of a better term.
But most likely I'll go to jail.
I don't know. You know, I don't. You know, it depends on if I determine because of what you tell me that I don't have probable cause to arrest you or anything. Okay. Is it okay? Is that a yes? You'll answer questions, or
I mean, I don't know. I suppose so.
it's a yes or I don't mean to be pushy, but we have to have kind of a bright line.
But yeah. Okay. I got you. Yes. No.
So yes, you will answer, or no, you won't.
I don't know. You want to know.
Okay. And that's something we can continue on, and you can answer some, none, all. You can start, you can stop. It's up to you. But I just need to know if you would like to answer questions or not prior to us.
Yeah. I can answer questions.
Okay. I'm just writing down your response.
Sorry. Yes, I can answer.
Okay. What time? 64. This is just saying that you read or had read to you these above rights. You can sign that from there. It's not giving anything away. It just says that you had those rights read to you or that you read them. Okay. So, Crystal, where do you currently live?
Well, I guess I'm staying over at Joe's apartment.
St. Joe's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off and on.
And what is his address?
You know, it's from the B1 here was, sorry, something South Adams Road. I don't know the first part.
Okay.
It's in South Adams Road.
Adams Square Apartments.
Yeah, that's where I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So that's 225 South Adams.
225, thank you.
Okay. And is Joe your boyfriend?
Yeah, I don't know what we are. I know what he knows, but like honestly, we've never been official, and he has other females.
Dating relationship or at least intimate relationship?
Intimate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so occasionally you guys.
He's around.
Right. Okay, so how often are you guys together or around each other?
I mean, I stay there, so whenever he's there, but he's mostly gone a lot.
Okay,
He's
so
always gone.
always taking off and going places. And who's he hanging out with and taking off with when that happens?
Sure, with other females.
Is that something that bothers you? Okay. So you obviously have some feelings for Joe.
Yeah, of course I do, but
Okay. You have kids?
I have a little girl.
Little girl. Does she live with you?
No CPS involved. I actually just came back from visiting with her, and I was gonna leave him, but he
So this
finally
is
had nowhere to go, so I just stayed in the house.
So you're going to leave him. Is that a condition of CPS or something?
No, I'm just sick of being walked all over
Okay.
and alone.
So do you have any idea? I mean, I told you about the one shooting that happened right outside of your place. Do you have any ideas about the other one that I'd like to speak with you about tonight or today?
I don't know. I really don't. Like, I don't know much. Like, I honestly don't. But
So,
Besides the shooting that happened right outside your apartment, how many other shootings have you been present for?
I was never really present for him. I wasn't present for it. I wasn't there when it happened. I was around, but I wasn't.
Which one are we talking?
Either one of them. I wasn't right there. It wasn't right there. I wasn't right there when either one of them.
So besides the one that happened right outside your apartment, or Joe's apartment window, right?
Yeah.
You were talked to that night.
Yeah.
What other one are we talking
I'm guessing there's one a little bit ago to the grapevine. There's another one, I guess.
and where was that one at?
I'm in California. I'm sorry.
What did you hear about it? Let's just go that way.
I just heard that fucking, excuse me, sorry.
You're fine.
I'm
We're
sorry.
cops. We worked graveyards for many years. It doesn't bother us at all.
I really don't like doing that, but this guy was trying to, like, attack them with him freaking, like, he both got into it, and then one of them didn't make it.
Okay. So one of them didn't make it. What do you mean by that?
I guess there was a shooting. But I didn't see it with my own eyes.
Okay. But there's a shooting that you're aware of. And you said the guy didn't make it. What does that mean?
On the news. I mean, I know both of them, they're both on the news, like, and the other one, obviously, is really hardcore because everybody's talking about it. Terminates, everybody is.
Right. So the apartment will outside your door. But again, you said on the other one, the guy didn't make it. What does that mean? What does
The
I
news,
did?
he didn't survive.
He didn't survive, so he died
In the news, yeah.
as a result of the shooting.
I believe so.
Okay. So you said that you heard through the grapevine some things about that. What kind of things did you hear about that one?
Just that the guy who, I don't know who started what. I don't really know. I don't really know what guy, so.
You don't know which guy. The guy that died?
I don't even know if it's even who they say it, who people keep saying. You said two different people it could be, and I don't even know which one it could be. Like, because I don't even think it. I just. I don't,
Okay. What are the names that you heard?
the Kevin Beaver guy or whatever.
Okay.
And I don't know what the black guy's name was.
Okay. Well, the black guy's the one that died.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Right. Okay. So what was the name of the other person? You said you heard a couple of names as far as the ones that did it.
Well, no, I meant a couple of names like that's
Okay.
people. I don't know the black guy's name though. I never really never thought his name.
Okay. So I've spoken to Kevin and I've chatted with him. Okay. But here's the thing, Crystal. Okay. You've got information. I know you do. I didn't just come to have your name by
You
accident.
know, but things I wasn't physically there.
Okay.
I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there when it was happening. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like,
So
Where were you?
I was behind, like, I wasn't with the when it was happening. Like, I was following him, but he was they're way ahead of me. Like,
Following who?
I'm following the black guy.
Okay. And who was with you?
Yeah.
So Joe was with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I don't think that you're the person who pulled the trigger. Understand this, okay?
Yeah, but I didn't see who pulled it. There's just simple, like, I don't know.
Okay, well, we got one guy that's dead and one guy that's not, right?
Right, but like, that black guy had a gun on him. That's from what I understand. Like, I don't, like, how do we know, like, freaking he wasn't, like, protecting himself? Like, how do you know he didn't get it from him? Like,
And that's what we're trying to figure out, okay? Okay. So we know that you were at least aware of some of the things that were going on, okay? So let's go back in time a little bit. How did you guys come to be over there? And understand, we don't ask very many questions that we don't at least have some of the answer to.
I figured that.
So what caused you guys to be over there in that area that night? And let me ask you this: what day was it?
Oh, jeez.
It's a day that would usually be pretty easy to remember, though.
Before or after Christmas?
Oh, my memory's so shot. I'm so sorry. I think it was I think it's before Christmas. Or was it after Christmas? No, it was after Christmas.
Before the New Year or after the New Year?
I'm so sorry. I don't
Fine.
celebrate
It's okay.
holidays, and I'm really not being difficult. I don't really know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But it was after Christmas.
After Christmas.
If we went a time period, would it be a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Like 2 weeks ago.
So probably
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, you and Joe happened to be over in the area where that shooting took place. What caused you guys to happen to be over there? Understanding that we have a pretty good idea of the things that had taken place prior to that.
They were gonna go and get some stuff.
Okay. When you say get some stuff, what do you mean?
I guess.
Okay. So you're with Joe. Was Joe going to buy or was Joe going to sell?
I thought they were trading.
They were trading.
I thought.
So they're going to trade one kind of drug for another, or
I'm not really sure what I thought. I didn't know he was buying because he doesn't really tell me too much. I'm always right there, but I'm not right there. Yeah, I think there's other trading. I didn't know he was buying, and he wasn't selling anything, but I thought he was there trading.
so generally, if he's going to trade people, what does he receive in return? What does he generally get on the trade? What kind of drug?
Okay, so you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. Heroin, I guess.
Heroin. Okay. So you guys go over to the area. Your understanding of things was that Joe and was it the black guy that he was going to be trading with?
I guess so, but I thought it was going to be with the Kevin guy.
With Kevin, okay.
'Cause
And very well could be. Because Kevin does that kind of things too, by his own statement.
Yeah.
So when you guys get there, what happens, or where did you end up going? Understanding that you're not from this area, so you may not know exactly where it was, but was it near where the shooting had taken place? Or was it farther away than that?
Okay, you're asking me how, where, okay,
Where did you and Joe go to meet the black guy?
I think it was further away from where the shooting was happening.
Was Kevin involved in that at all?
For their whole deal, they did whatever from beforehand, yeah, and then I guess something wasn't right.
What wasn't right?
Whatever the black guy did, I don't know, I think he gave him bad stuff or something like that, and then he gave bad stuff, and then they were all upset about it, and then Kevin said, just come into my iPad and we can handle it over here or whatever,
Okay.
make it right or whatever.
So you said they were mad about the bad stuff that they got. Who's they?
Well, I guess Joe, but Kevin was on his side, even though Kevin was with the black guy to begin with.
Right.
So I don't.
So Kevin was upset that was he upset that this happened or that he was a party to it?
I don't think he was upset being party to it. He told him to come over afterwards.
So he told you guys to come over.
Yeah.
Where did you guys go then?
We went over to Kevin's.
Okay. So you go to Kevin's house. What happens when you get to Kevin's house?
Well, I stayed in the car and they got up and they were talking for a while. I usually always stay in the car. I don't like being around everybody. I don't know, they're sitting in the car. They're all talking. Over here, there's a car over there. They're all talking over there by the car. And then next thing I know, I guess the black guy just took off or some shit like that. And
And what happened then?
they all dispersed. And then when they came back, Joe, he took off. We had to go find him.
Okay.
And so we went to go look for him, and we couldn't find him for a long time. And
About how long?
20 minutes, maybe longer than that.
Okay.
Forever. They were looking at him.
So you guys are looking for him for 20 minutes. What happens then? Who did you guys talk to?
Well, when we get back, we came back to the pad because the black guy said he was at 7-Eleven, so we went to all these different places looking for him or whatever. And then we got back to the pad, and we were following the footprints, I guess. Because they just have to be his footprints. There's snow on the ground.
Right.
And then We saw the footprints with like the neighbor's house, so I think Joe talked to the neighbors,
Okay.
and they're like, yeah, there's a black guy hiding over here, and he asked my wife for a ride. We didn't do that for him, and he took off and went over yonder, like there, or whatever, and he was like Canadian or something. And then like, I don't know if they said yonder, or like that's what he said, but
So when he pointed, where did he point towards?
really, he actually like made it seem like he went down the hill, but like the shoe prints, I guess, went towards the old people's place.
Okay. So shoe prints go towards the old people's place. What happens then?
We see I saw the black guy too. We see him.
Where did you see him?
He was inside the building,
Okay.
and then he came out, and then him and Joe were talking.
And what happened then?
Well, so they were talking this way, right that way. I got on the phone and I told Kevin, I guess we found him, and I turned, and because there was an older man that worked there, and he was telling me, like, I want to call the cops, and, like, I told him, oh, I can call the cops too, is what I said to him, and then, like, and then I told him, it's okay, sir, if you'll be fine. I was talking to him, and then
And then what happens?
I hear, it really wasn't even loud. I hear, like, a pop.
Okay. And what happened then?
I forget to look in his eyes.
In whose eyes?
The black guy. It's not fair.
If you need some tissue or something like that. So you say you'll never forget the look in his eyes. What was that look in his eyes?
He was just lost.
Okay.
Like, he was. Like everything, his life was going, like, everything was like, like, I mean, like he was dazed. Like, and that's all these. I saw many. I saw the aftermath, because I was talking to the old guy, the old guy that worked there, this old guy. And I turned around and I just see him. He was just like this, and he was just staring at me.
How far away were you from?
He wasn't close to me. He was like, there's this walkway that goes inside the building right here, and like the old guy was still inside the building, and I was talking to him, and I was still like underneath the not underneath the overhang thing, but like low outside it.
Okay.
And like I turn around and I just see the black dude.
And where were they at? Where were Joe and the black guy?
Joe was already gone. He just took off.
So Joe left you there?
This is after the shooting.
Yeah, yeah.
Did anything happen before the shooting between Joe and the black guy?
They were talking. I thought that the black guy was going with them. They were talking. They were talking.
What were they talking about?
I don't know. I was trying to get the old guy not to call the cops. I was trying to tell him like, it's gonna be okay, because I thought that they were gonna like resolve it, like, because he was walking with them. Like, I thought it would be cool. I don't know. And like, I just all I know is I don't know. I thought he was going with them.
Did Joe and this black guy end up getting into a little bit of a wrestling match or a tussle or anything like that?
Yeah, they got a little loud, I guess. But that's when I turned. I mean, there's like, it happened so fast. Like, you heard it pop, and then it's like, and I froze a little bit, and then I turned.
But that was after where they got together. You said they got a little loud. Is that what I heard you
Yeah,
say?
and they're walking with them, and that right before it all happened.
Okay.
Like, right before it hit the pop, and then I turned, and then like, for as fast as everything just went down, like, for as calm as it seemed like it would be okay, and as fast as that just turned.
Okay, and what happened after that? Where did Joe go?
He went over to Kevin.
He went over to Kevin's. And you followed him, correct?
Yeah, I didn't know where to cut.
A ways behind him, though.
Yeah. Like,
Did you happen to see a gun on the black guy?
From what I was told, he had one. I don't remember seeing one.
Okay, so you don't remember seeing one. That's what I wanted to know whether or not you saw one in his hands. Did you see his hands during the portion of this?
Yeah, but I saw Joe's too, and Joe didn't have one in his hands either. Like, so I mean, like, but I was way before, like, before they even like went to go looking for him. They were told that he was strapped or whatever. That he had one on him or something. Or he had one. I don't know.
Okay, how about Joe?
Joe.
Was he carrying a gun? And then this is again, I need you to be honest with me. Being honest with me is what helps you out. Okay.
I'm gonna go to jail anyway because I know this, right?
Knowing something isn't what causes you to go to jail. Did Joe have his own gun with him that night?
I don't know if it was his own gun.
Did he have a gun with him that night?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not sure we got there.
Okay. What kind of gun was it that he had?
Oh, I don't know.
Does it look like ours?
I swear to God, I'm lying, but I don't like that kind of shit, and I don't like being around it. I don't know. Honestly, I'm never gonna buy in the car if he really had it on him.
So once you guys got to Kevin's house, Joe runs back there, you run back there. What happened at that point?
You know, when I say back there, they were already in the house, like, locked me out of the house, like, and I finally got them to open the door and let me in, and then, we left.
And then where did you guys go?
Back to the house.
Back to the house. What happens to the gun?
He didn't have one when we got back to the house.
You didn't have one when you got back to the house. Where did it go?
I don't know. I don't know where it went. I just know I went back to the house, like, we didn't have it anymore.
Okay.
But I never knew that he left the house, he had it to begin with. But I didn't know afterwards. Once I got there, he did have it.
What did Joe take away from the black guy? What did he take from him?
Oh, I guess he took his money back, I guess.
His money back?
His money back. He got his money back from him.
Okay. Did he take anything, or where did he find it?
Oh, okay. And then black case, the purse thing.
Purse thing?
Yeah.
When you say purse thing, what do you mean? I mean, how was he wearing it? You just motioned at your waist here.
Yeah, like a little, I don't know, like a little, strap thing.
Okay. Was it across his shoulder or was it around his waist?
Oh, sorry. Okay, no, it's shoulder. I think it's shoulder.
Okay, so he was carrying for lack of a better term, some sort like a satchel or a pack or something
I
like
guess
that.
so, yeah, it was like small, though, but
Okay.
yeah.
How big was it, do you think?
Like that size, maybe?
Like that size square?
Yeah, I mean, like that, yeah, like more like 15, I guess. I don't know.
What was in it?
It is money, I guess.
How much?
I don't really actually know how much. I really don't. In case of like area nurses with that, I'd rather not know things than know things. I don't know how hopeful it's going to be right now, but I just know he got his money back. I was there when they were going through it because I got locked out. Like, they just looked at me.
Where did they go through it at?
Inside my Kevin Beck's house.
At Kevin's place is where they went through it.
Yeah, I think Joe got upset because they kept most of it. I guess that was inside of it. I'm not really sure. I know the money was in there, but I don't know what else was in there. Like, I know that they kept it though, like most of everything.
They who?
Kevin, and I think his girlfriend.
Do you know what her name is?
I don't know her. Natalie, I think.
Okay. Was there anybody else inside?
Yeah, I don't know any people. Not people that come around or I've ever really seen. I've actually before then never seen that lady before. I honestly thought maybe her and Joe had something going on because I would see her out there often. Then he'd never bring me when they would go do things. But I didn't really ever see that Kevin guy. I didn't really know. I guess then until that night, really.
Okay. How many people do you think were inside that house?
5 or 6 maybe.
5 or 6. Okay. Including Joe, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was Joe, And then 5 or 6 other people inside. How many other cars were there?
I just know Joe's and then just one other car.
And what did that other car look like?
It was white, I think.
A white car? Like a car, a van, an SUV?
It was like not a car. I guess like an SUV. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was a car.
Okay, so what kind of car does Joe drive? Or what kind of car were you guys driving that night?
It was a little. It's like that color, like so pretty, like the Spanish color.
This one here?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind? Is it a car or is it a truck?
A car?
A car. Okay. You know what kind it is?
I don't know what it is. I know there's black around like the trim or whatever, and like I don't know.
And where's that at now?
I don't know. I don't know what that's actually.
Was he driving it today?
Yeah, last night I don't know. We got in a fight again. Actually, we really didn't fight. He starts things, just so I think he can leave.
Okay.
And he took off, and like. He couldn't get me after my kids thing because freaking he's not in his car because he doesn't need to have it anymore, I guess.
So you're talking about today?
Yeah, today, yeah. He doesn't have a car. I don't know where the car's at. He didn't come pick me up.
Okay. So going back to that night, who was in the car with you and Joe?
It was just me and Joe.
Okay.
When I was there.
When you guys left, what did Joe say to you? What did he say happened?
He just seemed really upset. He was mad at me again. That
Why was he mad at you?
because it took too long to come back.
You took too long to what?
To come back to the house. It wasn't really.
What were you wearing that night? Do you remember?
I had a jacket. I don't know where it's at.
What kind of jacket?
It was white and blue.
What part of it was white? What part was blue?
The sleeves are blue. I think this part was white.
Okay.
I don't know where.
Is it all one piece or is it two? Oh, okay. What was Joe wearing?
I think he had a t-shirt on and sweats.
Was you wearing any kind of coat?
When we left, he didn't have a coat on. I really don't remember if he had one on before that, though. Because I think when we left, to begin with, I don't know if he had one on. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if he did. Well, I just don't remember. I'm guessing I don't really know what it says, right?
I'm going to show you a picture.
You know who that guy is?
No, I don't remember that guy.
You don't remember who he is?
I don't remember seeing that guy. I really don't.
Never seen him come to the apartment by Joe or anything like that.
No, I don't. I don't. That I don't.
But a lot of others, my understanding.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen people come through, but I don't think I've seen that guy.
Okay. Joe sells drugs. We know this. Okay. Am I wrong in saying that? Okay. And it sounds like Joe sells heroin, maybe among other things. I don't know. What did Joe say he got back from Kevin besides his money? I'm sorry, from the black guy. What did he get back besides his money?
Honestly, like, only his money. He only got his money back. Honestly, that's from my understanding. He didn't get anything back, and that's why I thought he was upset. Like, he was blaming me. Like, he was getting mad at me for things, but I think it's because he was more mad of the situation. Because, like, from my understanding, that's what he was upset about. Because, like, he got, like, he didn't get his full amount of his money back, I guess, or whatever. They kept it or whatever, and, like, dogged him off or whatever.
What did Joe say about shooting that guy? How did he feel?
He didn't say anything about shooting him. He never said anything about shooting him.
Okay.
He said that things got out of control, and that
he tell you that he felt bad or anything like that?
He just says he didn't feel different. That's what he said.
How did you feel?
I'm not sure how he felt.
So I'm just going to rehash here a little bit, okay? You guys made arrangements to meet up with Kevin because Joe was going to trade something with Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, like, I honestly not. I know he was gonna like. I'm not sure if they're trading or if he's buying. Like you said, like, I don't know. Like, I know he's not. I know words. You're using words and words. I've seen this 48 hours stuff. Like words are like literal here. You guys right?
Well,
Like I mean, like.
and that's why I'll clarify.
Okay.
Okay. If I get an answer from you that I'm not sure what it is, I'll ask you to clarify. Okay. So your words before is that you didn't see any money exchange, but your understanding of things was that there was going to be a trade. And the trade arrangement was for Joe to receive some heroin. How much was he supposed to get? Because you said, you mentioned here that he got his money back.
Yeah, mine's back. Yeah.
So apparently he traded money for some drugs. How much money are we talking?
Well, when I say he got his money back, he got money back out of it. I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know how much he was getting, or I really don't know how much he was getting. I like it was just trying to make something right from before. Like I don't.
Okay.
And then like I thought it was just trying to make something like I don't know exactly what was supposed to go down. I know that he said he didn't get all his money back.
Okay.
But like I never even knew that he was he was doing that in the first place.
So you guys make arrangements with Kevin. You don't end up meeting with Kevin on that portion, correct?
No, Kevin was there when they did the. I'm guessing he's buying but he does not. I thought they were just trading. But
So when they made the exchange, let's call it
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
So when they made the exchange, was Kevin with you guys?
yeah, it was. I thought he was with Kevin, and then I was there.
Was there? Where was it? Were you guys in a house? Were you in a car? Were
We
you
were
on
in the car on the street.
the street? Okay. So you guys make an exchange in a car on the street. Where did where did the black guy go from there?
With Kevin.
With Kevin. And where did you guys go?
Back to the
Back to what pad?
Joe's.
So you guys went back to Joe's house. And when you get to Joe's house, how long were you there?
I had to realize that this stuff that he got, I guess, is not what he thought he was getting.
What did you think he was getting?
I guess he got whack. He got crap stuff. I think I gave him crap stuff.
Like bunk, or just not as good as it was supposed to be?
I guess bunk stuff.
So he didn't get good heroin, or good drugs. Let's just call it. So he didn't get good drugs.
Yeah, he got bad stuff.
So what happened at that point? What did Joe do?
He called Kevin.
He called Kevin, and then what did you guys do?
Kevin said to come over and they'll make it right.
Okay. And then what did you and Joe do?
We took Joe over there.
You did, or?
Well, sometimes I drive because he was on his license.
Okay.
So,
So you drove then?
pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I drove back for sure.
So you drove back to Kevin's house?
Yeah.
And when you got to Kevin's house, what happened?
I stayed in the car and he went inside and then they went outside and they were talking over by the other car, or the SUV, or no, whatever, the other vehicle.
Right.
And I was in the car the whole thing, and I was doing scratchers in the car and waiting for it just to be done. I'm sorry. And then I guess the black thing took off or whatever. And then I was all mad and said we had to go find them and this and the other.
Was that the time when you guys started following the tracks, or was it a little bit later?
No, that was before we started following the tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there was a kid there too. One of the black guys from Anderson, shit like that. He got in the car. he told us, I guess, about the 7-Eleven thing.
Do you remember what he looked like?
Not really. I didn't turn to look at him. He was in the back seat, and he was young though.
White guy, black guy,
Yeah,
Hispanic?
I mean, I don't think he was white, but he was light skinned.
He was light skinned.
He wasn't black either, but he was like, something not black.
Okay. So something not black. So was he white or?
I think a different kind of race. I don't think he was
Okay.
even white. He was, I just know he's tanner.
Okay.
I don't
So he
think
had a darker complexion.
Yeah.
So he gets in the car, mentions the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, he said he's going to be somewhere like a 7-Eleven or some crap like that. But
And did you guys go check a 7-Eleven someplace?
yeah, wasn't there obviously.
And then what happened?
I remember sitting there. Joe was just being mad and going up and down the streets, just seeing like maybe see him walking or something.
And what is Joe saying when he said he's being all mad? So there has to be a reason why you know he's mad. What kind of things was he saying at that point?
I mean, but it's just better. He needs to make it right. It's not right. Freaking like people are supposed to do people like this or stuff like that. Like, it wasn't like anything like I don't want to kill him or nothing like that. Like, it was just like honestly, it was like innocent. Like, it was like just more of just like, you know what I mean? Like, just do what you say you're gonna do. Like, don't.
So he's venting.
Yeah, he was just venting.
Okay.
And I usually when he does that, I just try to stay quiet because I don't. Then he just me. And I
Okay.
observe that. So.
But then you ended up back at Kevin's again.
Yeah.
And once you get back to Kevin's, you guys got out of the car.
Yeah. And then they're all still looking for him. And I tried staying in the car, but I might go out. And so I was looking and I freaking and followed the shoe prints out in the snow and the ones that were there. The only ones that you obviously gotta be this guy's.
Who found the footprints?
Joe did.
Okay. So you followed the footprints. What direction did they take from where you saw them? Where did they go?
To the old people's place.
To the old people's place. Did it go
From
along
Kevin's.
the sidewalk? Did it go down a road? Did it go down an alley?
If they were his, he went his tracks. Like, we were in the back alley. Like, yeah. And I think they were just because we went to the neighbors and the neighbors said, yeah, there's a black guy in their yard or whatever. Like,
What did Joe tell the neighbors when when the neighbor came out and contacted you guys?
he said that he robbed us or something like that.
So he said he robbed, that
Yeah.
you guys were robbed.
I think so, yeah.
And then what was Joe's response? Or I'm sorry, what was the neighbor's response?
Like, oh, yeah, I hope you find him. Or he was, you know, and then he asked him which way he went. He was like, it went over yonder there or something like that.
And did he point a direction out as far as what way he went?
Yeah, like he said that he went like down the street, but that's not where the tracks kind of went, like went towards old people's place.
So you guys followed the tracks to the old people's place.
Yeah.
And as you're following the tracks, were they going down the sidewalk or were they going across the yard?
I don't remember. Like I think I went. He was kind of like this way. I went this way, just looking. I mean, by that point there was like tracks kind of everywhere because people going in and out. But then we see in the inside the building.
Who found him inside the building?
I guess I spotted him first.
And what did you say when you found him?
So he was right there.
So you let Joe know that you found him. And then Joe came. Did he run over at that point?
He just walked over, and then the guy was in there, and he comes out, and he was like,
Let me ask you this first. Did you guys go into where the black guy was?
no, he was inside, like we were like,
There's an entryway.
It's an entryway thing, yeah, he was inside the entryway, was really going to the building, and we were outside.
So did you guys go into the entryway?
Not, the entryway be like, no.
Through the outer doors that weren't locked. Did you guys go through those?
No, we didn't go into the doors, no, we didn't do that, that's where the lock was at.
So what was Joe saying to the black guy right there?
Just to come out and make it right, that, that it doesn't need to, it doesn't have to be like this, like, it's like, the black guy's like, oh, gosh, you're coming, and she was like, why does he need to be like this? Why can't you just fucking, be a man, or something like that? I don't really remember. But it was just more of just like, come on, dude, let's make it right, I guess. It's not,
Okay. So then you're out on the sidewalk. And you start talking to the old guy?
Yeah, because there's two guys. There's an older guy and I think a younger guy hit him like a full on massive one. And the younger guy I think did I think he's younger, that's why I say I think he did yeah. The older guy kept telling me we're gonna call the cops if you guys don't leave and I was telling him like they're leaving, we're going. And by that time Joe and the black guy were like already like past me, like going back towards the house, that's what it seemed like. And I was telling the older guy he's like, we're gonna call the cops. I'm like, it's okay, like, you don't have to do that, like, I'll call the cops if I have to, or some crap like that,
And they got into some kind of tussle.
yeah, like, it was like, I don't know, like, loudness, but then, like,
When you say loudness, what do you mean?
like, they got, like, you know, like an uproar, they both kind of got loud for, like, a quick second, it was, like, that one quick second, and then you hear, like, a very, like, pop, like, I think, and, like, but it was, even then, like, I don't think you know what, like, I've never, like, I don't know, I don't like to be, and, like, I've never, like, you know, actually, like, hear one go off or whatever, and, like, I wouldn't even guess if that was, like, even, like, a gun that went off, like, because, like, it was just, like, it wasn't loud, it wasn't, like, how I thought it would be, and
At what point did Joe take the satchel, I guess we agreed to call it? What point did he take that satchel away from him? Was it just before the shooting?
I think that's what they got loud about, because he had that, and then the black guy, he didn't have that on.
So he didn't have it on when the pop happened.
It was got loud, and there was a pop, but by the time like actually, before they went over and turned, Joe was already pretty much gone, and the black guy was like.
So how do you know that he took the satchel away from the black guy?
Because when I got into the house, he had it. But he didn't have it. They had it. Natalie had it, and she was taking money out of it. I think. But like,
Who was?
Natalie. But like, I didn't really see anything else that was in there. Like, I didn't really see what was in there.
But Natalie was taking money out of the. Okay.
Yeah, because from my understanding, she like from when she got like they got like all this money out of it and whatever. And
Did you hear how much money they got out of it?
I didn't. I just know that Joe felt like he got wronged again by that.
Where did Joe generally carry his pistol when he carried it? Whether it's his or somebody else's, where did he generally carry it?
I never really liked him to have it, so I'd always make a fucking fuss about it when he'd want to bring it with him. And so that's all our fights would be. He'd want to leave me to go to that. But he was keeping on his side, I guess, right here. Sorry.
After all this is said and done, you know that Joe has now shot somebody. Correct? Your words. He's standing there like this, and you'll never forget the look on his face.
Yeah.
Like his life is passion before his eyes, or something along those lines. I may be wrong in that on what you had said.
Or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess so.
What did you say to him after that when you finally caught up to him?
I asked him if he was okay.
Okay. Express any concern for the guy that got shot?
Who?
The black guy. Did you express any concern for him?
I didn't want to say anything.
Okay. Did you say we need to call 911? Or we need to call the cops or something?
There was already ambulances coming. You could hear it. They
You could-
happened like all it happened so fast.
Okay.
There was already ambulances coming.
So who drove away from there?
I guess I didn't know Joe was away.
So you drove away from there. Okay. Once you got back to the house, what did Joe say? I guess specifically, did he express any concern or any kind of remorse or anything like that for the guy that he just shot?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really want to make him mad.
Because your words previously to me were that he didn't feel any different. He said he didn't feel any different.
He wouldn't have to, like, when you asked him, like, something like that, he said he didn't feel any different. Like he was like, confused, like as if it didn't happen, kind of thing, you know.
Did you say we need to call the cops?
I don't see anything like
Okay. How come?
because it would have just been something stupid, I would say, and or you just get mad at me for it, or I just we didn't really see much after that.
Did you try to stop him?
I legit didn't tell him where he was.
That's understandable. But did you try to stop them when you heard them getting loud? Or when they started yelling at each other in the doorway? Did you try to stop them?
I think I told him just like to calm down. And, like I think I said, I'm sure I said something because I usually try to, but I don't remember if I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't mean for that to happen.
And you knew that he took the satchel because you saw when he got back to Kevin's
When I
place.
got back to Kevin's place, it wasn't. It's not like I was thinking like about sexual when I saw it when it was all going down. It's not till I got there and I saw it.
And how do you know that that was the black guys?
They saw it on him before.
You saw it on
They saw it like when they threw the whole. So he was wearing it.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us regarding that?
Well, and then
Yeah. We'll go to yours as well.
so, Crystal, I want to make a few assumptions. Okay.
Correct us if we're wrong.
The very first assumption I'm going to make after sitting here watching you for, I don't even know, 30 minutes or so. You and Joe are two very different people. Am I correct?
I think so.
Because what I've seen, every time we talk, what's the victim's name of yours?
Christopher.
His name is Christopher, the black guy. Okay? Christopher was not probably a perfect human being. Neither is Detective Melville, myself, or you. Correct? No one's perfect. Did Christopher deserve to die that day?
No, I didn't do this.
No.
I know. This is so stupid.
Okay. So, when you were asked how you felt about it, you said you weren't sure, or something to that effect, right? Look at the emotion on your face. This is how you feel about it.
It's because it was too weak. It feels too weak to believe that I don't know which one it is exactly. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I just.
Do you know what remorse is? Guilt. Yeah. You just voiced it. You feel guilt because you pointed out the black guy. Right? And had you not done that, Joe might not have seen him. Christopher would still be alive. This is guilt. And it's a human emotion. This is what makes you different than Joe. Because you told us Joe didn't feel any different after taking a human life. He didn't. Am I right?
It's so like.
Joe killed someone over money. Over whatever amount. Did we ever establish that?
I've heard the claim $4,500.
Does that sound right?
I honestly didn't know.
You didn't know?
I really didn't. I stick to that. I didn't know exactly how much was in there.
Joe killed a human being over money. We won't even put a figure on it. We'll just say money. Okay. A death that didn't have to happen. Am I right? It's not your fault, Crystal. Did you pull the trigger?
No, but I thought where he was.
It's not your fault. And this leads me to my next point. Do you know how many times you have sat here and said, Joe left me behind? I didn't want to say anything to upset Joe because it would just make him mad. You stay at Joe's house when he's there, but he's also off with other girls. You're conflicted.
I'm a joke.
No, you're not a joke. You're just conflicted. You have feelings for Joe that he doesn't return. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's get down to it here. Joe's running around on you, right? Can we make that assumption safely? You know it. Are you running around on him? Okay. So you're not getting in return what you put into this relationship. I can tell by the way you phrase it, you don't feel like Joe's apartment is your house. How often do you stay there?
They've been there. They've been there for like, I don't know, like maybe like, I always say like it's less than what it really is because like it doesn't feel like it's been a long time, like maybe like a month or a month and a half.
Okay.
But like, I just nothing's mine. Like, there's a job, work, I mean, he does everything. It's like,
And Joe holds it over your head, doesn't he? Said he just mentioned it today. He reminded you today that you don't have a job and anywhere else to go. Okay. I have a few more questions for you about Joe and what Joe has done wrong. Okay, but here's what I want you to think about going forward during this conversation that we're going to have. I want you to think about Crystal. And your daughter.
I've been thinking
Okay.
about.
You stop thinking about Joe and how pissed off Joe might be when he finds out you talk. Because I guarantee you Joe doesn't give two shits about you when we bring him into the same room. I want you to think about Crystal and your daughter. Can we agree on that? Okay. Is there anything else you want to add to what you've already talked about with Detective Melville shooting Christopher?
I'm sorry.
So apologize to
Are
me.
there any other details that you think they should know that we didn't talk about?
No, I mean,
Did you drop anything? I forgot to ask this question.
no, I didn't put anything I need to hear like drop it.
Were you wearing a hat?
I don't think it was. I don't remember wearing a hat.
Do you sometimes wear a baseball cap?
No, I don't remember a baseball hat. I
Was
wear beanies every now and then, like,
Joe wearing a baseball cap?
maybe he sometimes does, but I'm not sure if he does, if he was that day.
If he were to wear a baseball cap, what kind of baseball cap would he wear?
Like, a logo or whatever, or like a baseball probably.
What color?
He has lots of different colors. That's not even difficult. There's all different colors. He doesn't have like a main color. He has all different kinds of hats.
Does he follow or like any particular sports teams?
I think, yeah,
What sports teams does he like?
baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which baseball teams?
I'm guessing freaking yeah, Yankees and their hobby.
The Yankees. Does he have any Yankees baseball caps?
Yeah, that's what he has. Majority. Yeah.
Majority, if not all.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he wearing one that night?
I mean, usually he'll always wear his hood or a hat. I can't say that he wasn't or was. I really don't remember. I swear I'm not mean to him. I just really don't. I don't remember.
Did he say anything about his hat or anything like that night that he dropped it or he left it any place?
No, he didn't say anything about it. I asked to wear my jacket one night. Said he left it at Kevin's.
Where what was?
My jacket, because I took my jacket off.
Which jacket?
My blue arms, my middle part, my sweater jacket I had.
If a person didn't know that was one jacket, what would they think you were wearing? Would they think you're wearing a jacket? Would they think you're wearing a hoodie? Would they think you're wearing a vest?
Maybe like a hoodie, I guess, like, because it's a tab, it's a tab.
Did the white part look like it was a vest?
I don't think it did. I mean, maybe it could have, yeah, because the arms are, different color, I guess, yeah.
Was it like a puffy style?
No.
When did the jacket come?
I don't know why I took it off. I think when I got back in the house, because I was just all like hot, I just ran back to the house, and I think I took it off, and I just went to go get the car.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. So many of you are not subscribed. I mean, I see it in my statistics. And that makes me really sad. See you guys in the next video, I hope. Peace out, Wildcats. On a final note, if you're making a decent enough income to where your bank account balance is always positive, but you're not investing your money, you're hurting your future self. Inflation is going to destroy many people's wealth over the coming years, but it doesn't have to happen to you. Put your money to work for you with stock and options. After I started this YouTube channel, I've been trading a lot less than before. Whereas before I was trading every day, now I only make trades of the highest conviction. In the last 90 days, all of my trades have been winners. If you wish to join me, visit the link below. When you sign up, you'll receive an email every time I plan to open a trade. Just copy what I do, and you don't need to spend any time researching investments. I'll even help you get your trading account set up if you don't have one already. You should check out the link below for sure.